Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Lisa with Lisa's Faith and Budget Planning channel. I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here with you getting into my Sinking Funds and Savings Tracker closeout for the month of May. So a lot of things happened this month. As you can see, I had a lot of withdrawals here. My normal deposits went through and I moved some money around in here. So I didn't actually deposit $521, but I did move this $14.30, which was dividends in my account, to my home maintenance. And then I also moved escrow into a couple places, partly in home maintenance, and then I think somewhere else. Oh yes, partly in this here with Amazon Music, and I'll explain that in just a minute. I love using sinking funds to make sure I have enough money to cover expenses and bills that come out once a year or once a quarter. And this just helps me make sure that those things are taken care of, plus any incidentals that happen periodically throughout the year when it comes to car maintenance, home maintenance, things like that. So I have specific sinking funds, and then I have just sinking funds that cover a lot of time and don't really have anything and don't have a bill attached to it. It's just there to cover what I need. Again, home maintenance, car maintenance, birthdays, Christmas, things like that. So we are going to go through and find out what the total deposits are, which we already have written down here, what the total withdrawal was or money moves that I made, and then what the new ending balances are going into the month of June. And I cannot believe June is here. It is like next week for me. I'm doing this a week early, but I know there's nothing else I'm going to use in here. And so I just wanted to go ahead and get this closed out. It's crazy. June is here. So with withdrawals, I just like to draw a line if there's several zeros, and I just don't really need to put anything there. And now I can get my calculator and move my notebook so that we can get the calculations done. Every September we have Amazon Prime come out. We use Amazon Prime all the time. We use Amazon Prime Video every night. We use Amazon Prime for our deliveries and specials that they have on there. It's just something we use all the time, and we believe it's worth using. So I have $87.92 saved up, and I'm adding $12.56. I get this number, $12.56, by taking what we paid last year, and we have to pay tax on it. I'm starting to repeat numbers here. I think $139 yearly subscription, and we have to pay tax on it where I live. So I took that number, that total number, divided by 12, and then rounded up, and this is the number it came with, $12.56 a month, including covering the tax that I need. So that's where that number came from. Now, Amazon Music was a subscription my husband had for a long, long time. I did a year, borrowing out of this account, a full year of Amazon Music, and he says after this year he didn't think he was going to need it like he did, and he could use the free version because he wanted to kind of move the money that I was putting aside, a few dollars, and start doing a personal money for himself for fun, for activities, fishing, hiking, and all the fun things that he likes to do, and not, instead of taking it out of the budget, just reduce this because he really felt he could use the free one and it would be fine. Before, he needed it, it seemed like, and he used it the way it's set up and had the subscription, but he doesn't want it anymore. So we're not going to renew it in March, but he has it until March, and this won't be on my list going forward in the month of June. So that is zeroed out. I just took the escrow here and moved that amount and what we planned for Amazon Music this month and just zeroed it out. And hopefully next one I can get the escrow. If you have not seen my videos before, escrow is just whenever you have a bump in property taxes, or you have a bump in what do they call it, homeowners insurance, which just got that paperwork. I don't know if I'm going to try to find somebody new, but it went up over $40. But we've had a lot of extreme weather where we're at, and I think all insurances are going to be high, even if I tried to switch. So I'm not sure if we're going to switch or just eat the $48 a month, or I don't know what it is, 40, 48, I can't remember. But yeah, the escrow is going to go up here in August. Well, it won't this year, but next year we'll have a shortfall for sure. And if that's the case, I might, instead of saving escrow here, just thinking about this, what I want to put, I could probably put towards the escrow online so we don't have a shortfall for next year. That's an idea, because you can make a payment toward your escrow or put money towards your escrow, and that way the shortfall doesn't affect the next year. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So anyways, it's just a random thought. Went down the rabbit hole there. Apple.com is my Microsoft 365 or whatever it's called, with Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and all the things. And that is paid out annually. And I have $24.76. I think in December is when it gets charged to my account, and it's under Apple subscription. $6.19 is what I have discovered is the best amount. So I cannot write today and talk. My goodness. $30.98 is what I have now in there. $73 for Xander Identity Theft. They give you reports and let you know what's going on. And if you do have your identity stolen, they have a coverage. So, and they can help you with that. So that is $85 that I have saved up there. Norton Utilities is my husband's, Norton for his laptop. And so he does a subscription once a year for that. And I have $15.90, and $5.30 is what we put away every month. So we're at $21.20. Canva, April it is when it charges. So it just charged. May, I added $10. Oops. And by the time next year, if they don't do a price increase, it should be just under $120. I think it's $119 and some change. Epidemic Sounds, the music you hear at the beginning of my videos and the end and throughout. And that is $12 a month I put away, $84. Now I'm negative 32. I add 16. So 16 minus the 32, positive, negative there. I owe $16. One more month. Oh, why am I not writing correctly? This is crazy. All right. Negative 16. So I'm doing double payment for what would normally be DoorDash Pass for the sale I got last year. I don't know if it's going to go up. We use it all the time. Every week we use it as part of our eating out, and it's a convenient way of taking care of things that we want to, have here at the house and delivered. I live kind of in a rural area, so there's only so many delivery options that we get, and it's nice to have it available every week when we want to use it. Sometimes we go to the restaurants, but most of the time we do have stuff delivered. Now, home maintenance here, I said earlier, I included the $14.30, and then whatever the difference between 100, let's find that out. Let's see, 100 minus the 7, was it 77? Or was it something else? I had 1926 going in there. I think that was right. Yes, okay. So I had to look at, what I had done. So I had moved $77.02 over here. That left $22.98. I just went ahead and made that 0, and I moved this $22.98 to home maintenance. So if I take $87.28 minus, I've already forgot, the $14.30 and minus the $50 I put every month and minus the $22.98, that brings me to 0. So this whole combination is those three items, the $22, $14, and the $50 I normally put into home maintenance every month. We did a treatment on the house for wasps, and it worked out really, really well. I haven't seen a lot of wasps, and they sprayed the house. We might do it again later this year if they start coming back, August, September timeframe, to hibernate. Our house is notorious for crevices and cracks and things opened that they can get into, and they want to nest in our house, and it just, oh, it was aggravating me. So I still have $91.18 that I owe to my savings account. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be in negative numbers because this is one savings account, and all these little deposit line items are the total that is sitting in this savings account. So I kind of borrowed from my savings account, and I owe it $91.81 or 18, and when I put $50 in next month in June, it'll be negative $41.18, and then July it'll be in positive numbers again. So as long as I don't need anything for home maintenance, obviously I have no money available. I'm just going to have to make it work and wait for anything in the future. But I have no plans that I would need home maintenance for anything. That's why I used it. Now I do have an Orkin quarterly spray, and it just happened to coincide in the same month. So we had them come on our normal quarterly spray, which is on $155 every quarter, or it's $52 every month. I still had $1 left over, so I put that there. I just realized I didn't explain this. This was $250 for the wasp spray for the entire house on the outside of the house, and then $63.55 we bought more mole grub kill. That way our yard doesn't attract moles. So if you killed the food source, they don't come. It'll help with our backyard. So that's what we have there. And then propane, that is going to be $140. When this gets to $240, I will stop funding this for the next time. Car maintenance, I did have to use that for an oil change and some things. And so I have $103.66 there. Oh, I forgot trash. So trash was $30 that we saved, and that's quarterly as well. So I do $30 in May, $30 in June, and then I get a bill in July, and it'll tell me what I owe, and I only save up what I need for that. It's usually just under $30, so that works out pretty good. Taxes and tags, that will be in June. We should be getting that in the mail soon. And I just took the number from last year, divided it by 12. Right now I have $228.78. I'm going to add $20. And if there's anything left over in it, I just roll it over and do the math on that. So $248.78, and that's close to what we paid last year. So that is actually kind of considered fully funded. But I know it's going to come right out next month, so we're just going to leave it like it is. Tax preparer, I usually have somebody do our taxes, and that's $42 I have saved up so far. And then gifts. So this is two different gifts here. Okay, gifts here. $247.78 is two different things. $92 of it is the Cincinnati Zoo, which is a couple hours from our house, and we're going to spend the day at the zoo. And the rest of it, the $155.78, is Legos. So my son's birthday is coming up. He's turning 21. He gave me his request on Legos, as he does every year. And then I said, what experience would you like? He said he wanted to go to a new zoo. So we're going to go to the Cincinnati Zoo. And like I said, that was $92. That's for 4 adult tickets. And so we spent $247.78 for his birthday. I might get some money out of here when we go to the zoo and cover the cost of the food that we will buy, because I'm not going to pack and bring things in. I'm not one of those moms, never have been. So I'd rather buy what they got and spend the high price on it, and everybody's usually pretty happy about it. But that is what we're going to do, is go to the zoo. And obviously escrow I brought back to zero, and dividends I brought to zero, because I did some money moves within the account. Now, obviously it's savings account, just a regular savings account. And the money moves only happened on paper. They don't actually physically happen unless I'm actually making a deposit or withdrawing from it. So these totals are kind of skewed because of that, physically based on the bank account, but I know they're accurate because I've been tracking it and making notes and making sure that I understand what I did and why I moved things and why I did what I did and all the things there. So now that I have all this information, I'm going to go ahead and total how much I withdraw from the checking or from the savings and come up with my new ending balance for the month. All right, total money moves for the month were $960.87. And now I need to total up these ending balances in order to come up with what we have here. Okay, I had to do it twice. I missed a number or messed up a number somehow, and I still got it wrong. Hold on. This is the culprit. So let me go ahead and write this number down, and I will recheck my math here. $1,042.14, and I'm 3 cents too high, and I'm wondering if that is the reason why. So I'm looking at my numbers on my spreadsheet here, and I'm double checking what I have. So I have 24.76 plus the 6.19. That should give me 95, not 98. So 24.76, 6.19. I did write 8 instead of 5. Thank goodness for spreadsheets. I like to handwrite it because it reinforces my memory, and I don't have great memory. And so that does make a big difference for me. And since that dropped like 3 cents, I can drop this 3 cents, and now that's 11. And we're good to go there. So let's total what's going across here. I'm thankful for the spreadsheet doing the math for me. So $1,481.63 is what we started with at the beginning of the month. We added $521.35 in money moves, whether it was a deposit or whether it was me moving money, withdrawing it from one line item and adding it to another line item. And then we subtracted the $960. There's a subtraction and equal and plus. There we go. I might start putting that on there. That would be a good idea. And 87 cents. And that gives us the $1,042.10. I lost a penny somewhere. I'm not going to sweat it. I know it's 11. If the math is math in here. Did I type something wrong? That happens sometimes. And then 6, 8. There it is. Okay, yeah, I just typed something wrong. So $1,042.11 sitting in the savings account, and it just sits there until I need to use it for whatever purpose I have coming up. The next big birthdays and stuff are the birthday Christmas time period. So it's in December. We might use gifts over August to October sometimes, depending on if we're going to do something for our anniversary, or my husband and I, our birthdays, we were both born in October, so that's a possibility, but I don't know yet. So that's what we have right now. Now, as far as high yield savings, we did take a big hit as far as how much money is in our savings account for our high yield savings, because we had to pay for a heating and AC unit, a whole replacement. And that replacement, part of it's still debt on the credit card, so we didn't even pull all the money we needed. We also had a whole big thing where we had to redo the insulation in our attic spaces. Critters were getting in. It was just a huge thing. It was just a huge thing, huge hit over the past year and a half. So this is all I have left. I have $18,000 for the emergency fund, and then interest accrued since we opened the account a year ago. We're at $1,292.73, and we added $68.36. If this was higher, it would be over $100 a month going to it, but right now it's not, and it's a variable interest rate of savings. I want to grow this more. I want to get it to 20,000 and the interest, and then I want to start saving for a new car for the future in about 5 years. I'm hoping the ones we have last 5 years. That's the goal. So I have that plus the 18,000 that is our emergency fund, and I can't let it go below that. Our emergency fund, I base it on what we need as far as income, and that is 6.5 months, or I should say this is 6.5 months of emergency fund income to cover all our bills. Obviously, I would reduce our bills and everything like that, but as far as guesstimation on how much to save, that's how I decide, is based on income. So $19,361.09 is what we actually have sitting in our high yield savings right now, and we're not going to touch this. We'll have to find other ways to deal with stuff, but hopefully we don't need or have any more emergencies coming up for years to come, and that's the prayer. So yeah. Okay, so this is my sinking funds. These are my savings tracker, and what happened this month and what it's going to look like going into the next month. I hope this builds up some more, and then I don't have to use a lot of the home maintenance or the car. Well, I can't use home maintenance, but car maintenance, gifts, and things like that. So we'll see how next month goes. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Have an amazing and blessed day. Bye. So you think